What's up, gamers? DreamcastGuy here, and it's Top 10 Thursday. Microsoft's last generation console really changed the world. With its heavy focus on multiplayer, gritty graphics, and original projects, it's sold millions of units. But now, strangely, I've noticed that some of the best stuff for it is completely overlooked. This week, I want to honor the great titles that really aren't being talked about at all, and I really think they deserve attention. So this week, these are my picks for the top 10 best unknown Xbox 360 games. Number 10. Remember Me. That is a very ironic name for something that was largely forgotten instantly at launch. In the year 2084, people have never been happier. Everyone works jobs they like, finds love, and doesn't have to deal with bad memories haunting the dark corners of their mind. The reason for this is a company called Memorize allows you to install a microchip in your brain to edit your own thoughts, but maybe they're going in there as well to change how society thinks. Our hero Nylon is part of a resistance group dedicated to taking down this organization and freeing the citizens even if they don't know they want it. Fighting in this game is a mixture of hand-to-hand martial arts and using a one-of-a-kind tool to alter the thoughts of your enemies to manipulate them, which sort of feels evil on its own, so maybe we're not quite the good guys. Number 9. Dead to Rights Retribution. This series started way back on the original Xbox and I always enjoyed it. Something was so fun about this angry cop tackling dangerous gangs with his dog Shadow and still having the time to say cheesy lines while shooting at criminals. On the surface, this looks like any other third-person action game, but it becomes more than that because of its insane story. Jack is the sort of man that just keeps getting deeper and deeper into trouble. No matter where he goes or what he's doing, there's always dudes trying to blast him, bosses telling him to stop breaking the rules, and buddies turning against him. If this was your real life, I'm sure it would be extremely stressful, but as a fictional story, it is incredibly silly to watch. Next time you're wanting to arrest some drug dealers or be the world's most badass cop, just turn on this. Number 8. Nier. Usually when you beat a game, you can put it down and move on, but with this project, in order to fully understand the plot, you're gonna have to finish it over and over. Nier takes place thousands of years from now in an age where our species is dying off from a powerful virus. To find a cure for his daughter, a father sets out into a land of monsters seeking an antidote. With the assistance of a talking book, a foul-mouthed samurai, and a floating skeleton, Nier is ready to face whatever is needed. This game is clearly a bit odd, but it manages to grab you with its story because at its heart, it's a simple tale we can all relate to. When someone we love is hurting, moving heaven and earth to save them suddenly seems possible. There's no boss too daunting or puzzle too hard that our hero won't defeat to make his family whole again. Number 7. Culdcept Saga. I'm a person who really likes collecting stuff, but for some reason I never got into card games. Learning all the rules and mechanics can be intimidating for me, and yet Culdcept Saga breaks concepts down into easy chunks that are really interesting. Let me explain what you're looking at here. Every round of combat takes place on this special board. Winning a match is about more than just wiping out the baddies. Instead, you need to gain more points than they can and ultra quickly. This is done by placing card creatures on the map and waiting for your opponent to fall into your trap, earning you a nice payday when you rob or kill them. The combination of classic strategy elements and a hardcore RPG is really great. Unfortunately, this was completely missed at release, and even now, just finding basic information on it can be difficult. Do yourself a favor and pick up Culdcept Saga and maybe tell a friend about it. Number 6. Shadows of the Damned. Shinji Mikami is a very serious developer, or at least that's what I've heard. He's the creator behind the Resident Evil franchise and The Evil Within, but despite him being the maker of such awesome horror, he also helped make this. Shadows of the Damned can best be described as a maniacal comedy in the depths of hell. Demon Hunter Garcia is having a rough afternoon when he comes home to find his girlfriend kidnapped by a flesh-eating beast from the underworld. Without hesitation, he grabs his talking gun Johnson and chases after them, leading to many humorous scenes of twisted, gory fun. Garcia likes to change up his battle style depending on the enemies trying to slow him down, and luckily Johnson can shapeshift to fit any task. You can use him for quick melee combos, long-range strikes, or have him transform into a radical motorcycle for a swift escape. Basically what I'm saying is that this game throws out any sort of logic and only worries about rushing you into the next cool encounter and more silly dialogue. Number 5. Zone of the Enders HD Collection. Alright, I admit that I'm kinda cheating with this entry on the list, but honestly, Zone of the Enders is a genius project featuring some perfect mech gameplay and truly excellent level design. Originally debuting on the PS2, it gained a small but dedicated cult following because of its amazing art direction and hardcore campaign. In the future, mankind has colonized the moons of Earth, Mars, and Jupiter, and this is where most choose to live now. If you think that just because we have all these sweet space houses now that we'll stop having pointless wars, you are very wrong. Our protagonist Leo is a teenager staying in one of these colonies when a giant robot soldier comes along and destroys his entire town. While fleeing the blood and flames, he stumbles on a powerful mech of his own, so he steals it and swears to seek revenge on those who killed his village. There's actually a really deep political struggle at the core of this game that makes the whole thing so much better. Leo may hunger to see his enemies die, but in war, there aren't always stark lines between who's good, who's bad, and who's just obeying horrible orders. Number 4. X-Men Origins Wolverine. Occasionally, the marketing of a game can really confuse those who are interested in buying it. If you just look at the box of this title, you'd probably assume that it's connected to that awful prequel X-Men movie that bombed in theaters. However, this is really an all-new adventure starring the Clawed Mutant traveling through Africa, Canada, and secret military facilities in a search for the truth. Logan may have been born like a normal man, and yet he was never able to live a simple existence. With his ability to instantly regenerate after any damage is done to his body, he realized that his purpose is to join the army. Getting to roam in the shoes of what is perhaps the deadliest creature of all time is incredible, and you discover that his story is a very sad one since he can never fully connect with anyone. While that sounds depressing, in life you're often stuck hurrying from one big event to the next, so you rarely get a chance to feel down. There's always a new evil mutant to fight or a giant tank to rip apart, so keep your heart cold, your blade sharp, and be ready for another battle. Number 3. Clive Barker's Jericho. First-person shooters are usually made to give the one holding the controller a sense of strength, making it seem like you're this great warrior conquering the fields of carnage before you. Jericho, on the other hand, aims to make it seem like you're the toughest guy in a totally screwed mission. We play as an elite squad sent to investigate a city believed to be taken over by ancient freaks called the Firstborn. Legends say that these are what God crafted the day before he made Adam and Eve, but he was so scared of what he made, he hid it outside reality. Somehow, this being has broken back into our universe and is now using his magic to warp minds and build a world of his own. The reason I love Jericho is that it's a legitimately frightening shooter. Running low on bullets makes your hands shake, seeing hallucinations of creepy kids crying is unnerving, and knowing your friends die because of your mistakes is scarring. Marching into lost temples and calling out commands to your team almost makes me even more scared, because every noise I make means another fallen angel is going to hear me and come looking. Number 2. Binary Domain. I have a question I want you to think about here for a second. What makes you a human? It's an old philosophical problem, but one that's still fascinating. Does making you feel pain make you human? Is it about having a body, or is it just a matter of who you are and the actions you take? Binary Domain drops us into a technologically advanced Tokyo during a renaissance of robots. Machines are now used from everything from cleaning streets to repairing cars. That's all fine, but now there's a new wave of gadgets being made that look and act like real people, and they seem pretty happy about replacing us. The only way to stop this invasion is by blowing them to pieces one by one in a set of operations that leads to the main factory. Genuinely, as much as I like the writing of this project, I just love the combat. The AI is smart, we get tons of stuff rushing at our guys to defeat, and each foe is actually built of hundreds of tiny parts. Using a shotgun to dismantle a murder bot one chunk at a time is epic, and doing this while you're riding a train underground makes me want to scream with hype. Number 1. The Chronicles of Riddick Assault on Dark Athena. At this point, we've seen thousands of zombie titles get shoved out over the last decade. It's become its own subgenre of gaming, and not exactly one that's super popular. That being said, the reason I like Dark Athena so much is because it's roughly like a zombie game, but one with tons of stealth elements. Riddick is a strong, ruthless man who understands that getting out of hard traps can sometimes require you to break some bones and not care about it. After smashing his way out of prison and making it into space in a ship, our dark hero gets captured by these things that are essentially disgusting robo-zombies. Their commander is Revis, an undead cyborg who's been hired to round up anyone she can, slaughter them, and then have machines hollow out their skulls to convert them into these drone slaves. If Riddick wants to make it out of his new jail alive, he'll have to use his brains, instinct, and every skill he's got in order to creep past these shattered souls and smash the master computer before it's too late. Because of this game's gorgeous use of shadows, the excellent voice acting, and the phenomenal sneaking mechanics, I'm awarded this my pick as the best unknown Xbox 360 game. Did your favorite hidden gem not make the list? Got an idea for a future top 10? Leave it in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. Alright, let's see if I can balance this on my head. This is actually super heavy. Oh god. Oh, it's gonna break my hat, isn't it? Alright, please subscribe before it falls. Oh god. Alright, I trust that you subscribed. Thank you. Oh, hey! I was just playing a little bit of Grand Theft Auto on my Darth Vader PSP. Are you curious what I'm going to come out with next? Well, if you click this button, you'll be subscribed to be the first to know. Also, if you click over here and here, you can see my latest review and my latest top 10. I promise, it was super good. Or it was really bad and I'm sure you can just make fun of me in the comments. Either way, it'll be a lot of fun. Thanks so much for watching.